What's good, y'all? You know, I've never been in a gunfight. I've never been in a war zone unless it's a Call of Duty lobby or something like that. I've never been in a bar fight, a 3-on-3 fight, your boys against them, and you try to make damn sure that you and your peoples get out in one piece. And you got to call an ambulance for the other 3 dudes that tried you. You know what I'm saying? I've never been in that situation where haymakers are being thrown left and right, glass bottles are being smashed to make a whole weapon out of it. Tables are being thrown, chairs are being thrown. You know what I'm saying? I've never been in that situation. And the simple man, the 3D man, the third dimensional man will look at me and say, then you don't know what it means to be brave. You don't know what it means to be tough. You don't know. Well, homie, I beg to differ. My fight has always been an intellectual fight. My fight has always been a mental plane, the astral plane, the spiritual plane. I might have lost some people saying those things out loud, but it is what it is. If you know, you know. Nevertheless, I know what it means to be brave. I know what it means to see my enemy charging at me from the other side of the field and knowing that I'm going to meet them right there in the middle. We're going to duke it out and we're going to see who comes out on top. I know what that feeling is, because like I said, my war has always been in the mind. And that's where I fight. You fight in the ring, I fight in the mind. Some people fight up there in the clouds. I don't care. We all have our arenas that we have to come out victorious in. You know what I'm saying? So how can you judge another man that shares the same traits as you? When I look at life, I realize the level of bravery that I've built upon myself. I used to be very cowardice. I used to see bad things going on around me. I used to see and hear stupidity. I never challenged it. I never stepped up to it. But you know what? It's like one of the biggest things that I've realized, it takes a level of bravery to drop all of your mental obstacles, all the hatred that you hold, all the anger that you hold towards someone. Hey, it shows a level of bravery to say, you know what? I'm not even mad at you no more, homie. It's like, I'm gonna go live my life. Because if I'm mad at you, I'm letting you live in my head rent free. That doesn't make any sense. That person has power over you because they're quite literally in your mind at all times. Someone comes up behind me right now and holds a gun to my head and they be, yo, I'll blow your brains out. I'm gonna blow your brains out if you don't give me your money. There's a part of my brain that I'm so detached from the physical world, and this is something I'll be talking about a little bit later on. It's like, I'm not afraid of that gun. I'm not afraid of that piece of metal with a bullet lodged in it. I'm not afraid of that. That's just a thing. It's the person behind it that I have to worry about. But the thing is, even though you have this physical thing to me, I don't recognize the physical. You can hold a knife to my back, sword to my back, hold a damn bazooka to my back, the gun to my head. I don't care about the weapon. I don't care about that because this is my weapon. If I can control the person holding the weapon behind me that thinks they have power over me, now I brought them into my domain. They need something physical in order to exact power over people. Okay, well, I'm always having my weapon. My weapon is always loaded. My mind is always loaded. And if I get into your head, I now have control over you. You can have a nuclear launch code in your hand right now. If I can control your mind, I can make sure that you don't type in the numbers. That's where this is my domain. And you stepped into my world when you stepped into my aura space. You know what I'm saying? I know what bravery means. For example, college. It's like, that was an intellectual war. That was one of those things where I had to learn the hard way that my weapon is my mind. Once again, everyone thinks that the big muscles, the people that you can call, I could call so-and-so and he gonna get you hemmed up. You think all these physical things is where power resides. In your world, it might be. But if I don't recognize your power, you thus far have no power over me then. It's just that simple. There was a two-on-one fight that I almost had in college where I had to draw my knife on somebody and I try not to go back into that mode, but I put that knife to his chest and took everything in my power to not stab that person. I realized that they were just a means to an end. Those 2 dudes that wanted to jump me were just a means to an end for me to have the true fight was in my mind. To stab or not to stab. That is the question. That was the fight there. That was who I was up against in that situation, not the 2 little jocks that cowered at the sight of a little weapon. Their minds were weak. You see what I'm saying? They saw a weapon and all that tough guy shit went out the window. But then the fight quickly switched over to my mind, Do I hurt these individuals or do I not? And I came out on top when I said, you know what? It's not worth it. That's where my power resides. You know, when we got to a battle of the minds, that's my UFC ring. In my second job out of college, you know, I had this boss. You know, I don't like calling him a boss, but you know, he tried to like flex his power all the time, that snobby voice of his. But nevertheless, he tried me. He was getting away with talking to people however he wanted to talk to them, ignoring people when they were seeking opportunities and all that type of stuff, you know, picking his favorites and catering to them. So if you're not going to show me respect, then what makes you think that you deserve to get respect from me? Who do you think you are, pimp? That ain't the way I roll. So I had to check him, and he wasn't ready for that. He wasn't used to that. And from that day forward, he started treating me a little bit differently. He knew that he couldn't get one over on me anymore because my mind was more powerful than his. It takes a level of bravery to know that that is the true war zone. It takes a level of self-awareness. It takes a higher level of consciousness to realize that the physical, these are just toys around here. The car, the money, the house, they're just toys. They're just things that just your little rewards throughout life, or they're little training wheels for you to learn a bigger lesson. Yeah, you learned how rich you are when you were able to buy the Lamborghini, the Maserati, the Bugatti. Congratulations. So now you're just going to be running around flexing your wealth to people? Well, what happens? Like, you know, fellas, we love doing this type of stuff, or we think because we're rich, every woman's supposed to love us now. Well, what happens when you meet that woman that doesn't care about your money? Oh, women are hypergamous. You sound hurt, my guy. Your mind has been damaged and you have refused to heal. But I'm not going to let women off this, you know, I don't let women off the hook with that one either, but we're going to keep it here for now because that's off message. You know, what happens when you meet an individual that doesn't care about your wealth? You know, well, I own a bunch of money. I have this, I have that. And you see another man, someone else that you're trying to get influence over, like, and the fact that you're flexing your money over me shows that that's all you have to offer the world. You're going to be humbled in that moment. But, you know, go ahead, go home and wipe your tears with your $100 bills. That's fine. But that person's always going to be living in your head rent free. And that just goes to show that money and physical things are not the end all be all to life. I'm just here to point it out to you. Yes, congratulations. You got it. Congratulations. You may have worked your ass off for it. But what was the real thing that you gained from that? These physical things, or the power to know that you persevered over something? You know, you met your enemy face first in the middle of that field and you came out on top. What's more important, that house or being able to know that anything that's thrown your way, you will overcome? It takes a level of bravery to get to that point. You know, I have a lot of men that look after me when it comes to these the semen retention journey that some people are trying to embark on. This challenge that they're taking upon themselves, you know? And it takes a strong man to realize that you fucked up and you have to start over. But you're willing to start over. That's building up your mental capacities. For the people that are trying to seek spiritual awakening, you know, spiritual understanding, getting into the new realms, it takes a big man, it takes a strong woman to be able to say, you know what, I know that this is the way that we're supposed to be going, but you know, let me peek my eye into the other side of things. Yeah, we're all about the light and the light and the light, but what about the dark? What about the things hiding in the darkness? You know, sure, I can protect myself in the light, or I can let me go test my strength in the shadows. Let me go into their home field territory and see if I can win them and beat them at their own game. You see what I'm saying? It's like it takes a level of bravery to know that you're stepping out of your comfort zone to go take on the enemy at home court advantage. For those of you that played any sport, you know, it's a little bit different when you're in the home team and when you're the away team. You know, but for me personally, I love being the quote away team. I love being at somebody else's court. It was, oh, you don't play at this gym often, do you? Oh, this is my court. This is my court. And I destroy them in their own court. There's something so satisfying about that. And it wasn't my mechanical skills. I said it in my mind that I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to embarrass you in front of your whole squad. You want to talk shit to me? 1v1 me. I never liked 1v1ing. I never did it because I'm very much a team player. I was more so a defensive player. You know what I'm saying? But like when I step on the court and say, you know what? Fuck it. 1v1, ball up, let's go. And I destroy them in front of their whole squad. And they ain't have shit else to say to me. They get their shoes and they left. I've done that multiple times throughout my balling career. Of course, my jersey's up in the rafters now, but I've been there. I've been that guy. older people, younger people, hey, we all have to be humble. Myself, I know there's people better than me at basketball, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I keep to myself, and I revolve myself around my team, around my squad. You know, for the lone wolf out there, it takes a level of bravery. That's a mental battle that you have to overcome. You know, to know that, oh, I get all my power for being by myself. I stick to myself because it's only me, and it's only me, it's all me. Everything I do is on me, blah, 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 blah. But it takes a level of bravery to realize, to be able to know that you need to reach out to someone, to call, hey, little bumblebee, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? It takes a level of bravery to realize that you need help. It takes a strong man to be able to reach out to his partners and be like, yo, I need help, bro. Come talk to me real quick. You know what I'm saying? It takes a level of bravery to do that. Likewise, for those of you that are like the extroverts out there, for those of you that really thrive within a group community, you know, you feed off of the energy of others, right? And it takes a brave individual to say, you know what? I know that this is where my strength resides, but what can I learn on my own? What can I learn separated from the pack? Okay, and for some people, that's a much bigger deal than you would think. You know, for me, it takes a lot for me to say that I need help. I mean, it takes a lot for me to say that I need help. A little bit of stubborn, youthful male pride, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But that's that mental warfare. When you see that time, when you have to admit that you need help from time to time, that's a battle for some of us. It takes a strong person to get outside of your comfort zone. It takes a strong person to go walk a little bit of life by themselves. It takes a strong person to go live into the opposite world. It takes a strong person that's living this pure life to go be amongst the drug addicts and the homeless. You know, it takes a brave person that's all about the light to go dwell in the darkness. It takes a strong person that wants to practice dark magic and all this type of stuff to go learn about the light. You know, it takes a level of mental fortitude to realize the healthy person as myself to go experiment with some crappy ass foods out here, to go put my body through like an internal war, to go see what life is like on the other side, just to prove to yourself that no matter what obstacle is thrown your way, no matter what circumstances you find yourself in, you are gonna come out on top. You are going to win. No matter how many times you get punched, no matter how many times you get A-town stomped, you know how many times you get shot, stabbed, you know, put under spiritual attack, you're always gonna win. How much do you believe in yourself? How really dead set are you on your discipline, on your practice? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's praying to their Orishas, their gods, their Jesuses, their Allahs, their Buddhas, themselves. They say, look, I'm one with source. I'm this, I'm that. We use all these fancy pants words. But how brave are you to say, you know what? I know that you're always there, but let me go do some things on my own. Let me see what life is like without you. And let me see if I want to continue living a life without you in my world. You know what I'm saying? It takes a brave person to say something like that. You know, we live with like all these vengeful gods and all these vengeful deities are always looking after us. And I am a jealous God. Okay, you can go live to that God. I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? With your understanding, if you're taking things at face value, what they mean by I'm a jealous God. But nevertheless, you know, that bigger conversation with that one. But nevertheless, it's like, well, if he's so all powerful, then I should have no power in my own world. My life should go to hell with all of that. And you realize that we are one and the same. All of our gods are within us. All of our beliefs reside within us. How dead set are you on yourself? How strong are you? How strong is your self-esteem? How high is your self-image? How profitable? How uplifting is your self-talk? I'm just asking questions for a friend. You know, I've been walking the lonely path, and I still give myself praise for being brave enough to continue to walk on that path. You know, because I've been building so much strength, but throughout my journey, throughout this solitary path, I've come across amazing people that I'm saying, oh, you want to walk with me? Well, come on. There used to be a time in my life where I pushed everyone away. But now it's just like, oh, you're making yourself known in my world? All right, well, come on, let's go. And now we're walking together. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel that you need to take off, go ahead. Don't get me wrong. I still have to work on my separation anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm ready to have friends. I'm ready to have love in my life. But nevertheless, I'm going to keep walking the path until everything lines up. Just because we've never been in these physical battles doesn't mean that we don't know what it means to be bravery, what it means to go to war. We definitely do. Our war is just in the invisible. Our war is just an internal war. And there's something to say about that. There's something to be proud about in that regard. But anyway, that's it for this one. Till the next one. Peace.